ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। जय जय राम जानकी राम।
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 रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम। रघुकुल
भूषण राजा राम।
रघुकुल भूषण राजा राम। रघुकुल
भूषण राजा राम।
जय जय राम जानकी राम।
जय जय राम जानकी राम।
तापस रंजन तारक नामा। दानव भंजन कोदंड रामा।
जन कोदंड राम।
जय जय राम जानकी राम।
जय जय राम जानकी राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम।
जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
जानकी राम
जानकी राम।
श्री रघुराम।
श्री राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम।
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम।
Jaya Jaya Rama, Janaki Rama,
Jai Jai Ram, Janaki Ram.
Janaki Rama. Amit you that master volume also can increase a little. Master. Hari Om. Yes. So, do you know how many people commit suicide every year? That number is increasing. That number is increasing every year. And the latest is around 7 lakh. Say around 1 million. 1 million people are committing suicide every year. So that is roughly 2,500 every day. That is equivalent to 10 plane crashes every day. So 2,500 every day means what? Every hour, how many? Divided by 24. So around 100. 100 people are committing suicide every hour. And this number is continuously increasing every year when they take these statistics. So that much of mental unrest is there in this world. See, want to commit suicide, you need some courage. Only when that person becomes so miserable, only then this extreme step is taken. So there are so many border cases, they are miserable, but they don't have the courage to commit suicide. That number is even more. What I'm trying to say is, there is so much of psychological problems in the society now. Some 50, 100 years back, this was not the case. So where are we going wrong? So if this question is asked, the mistake we have committed, we are committing, is we have kept spirituality away from our life. We have kept spirituality away from our life. And that is the reason why there is so much of disturbances. In the name of education, what kind of education are we giving? Only bread-winning education, money-making education. They call it secular education. In the name of secular education, they have kept all spirituality away, scriptures away, God and religion away. And what is the end result? End result is worry, tension, anxiety, disturbance, violence. There is so much of unrest in the society. So therefore, this only proves how much importance we have to give to the spiritual knowledge. If you see the Vedic times, where there was this Gurukula system of learning. At a very young age itself, children were sent to Gurukula. There used to be some enlightened master, great Mahatma. Under that Mahatma, these children used to learn. Around 50, 20 years, they would remain only in Gurukula. It's called as Brahmacharya Ashrama. And what is that which is taught there? The moral values. Value education was given the maximum importance. Scriptures were taught, knowledge was given, spiritual knowledge was given, devotion was strengthened. And therefore, these small children, exposed to this kind of knowledge, when they grew up to become men and women of character. They know how to handle life. And therefore, you'll find that the problems in those times were very less. There was never something called a mental hospital. It was never there. So this only shows how much we have to give importance to our scriptures. Okay. This world is a very complicated world. And in this complicated world, we are asked to apply a complicated body, a complicated mind, a complicated intellect. Body, mind, intellect, how they function, we don't know. The world, how it functions, we don't know. So we are asked to live in this world using the complicated instruments of body, mind, intellect in a complex world. So naturally, guidance is necessary. And who can guide us? Some Tom, Dick, and Harry cannot guide us. The one who has created the world and the one who has created this body, mind, only that entity can guide us. That is none other than the Lord. So only Bhagavan can give us the right instructions of how to live life. And those instructions, we call it scriptures. So in Kathopanishad, there's a beautiful metaphor, the chariot metaphor. Atmanam rathinam vidhi, shariram rathamevatu, buddhim tu sarathim vidhi, manah pragrahamevacha, indriyani hayanahu, vishayansteshu gocharan, atmendriyamanoyuktam, bhuktetyahurmanishanaha. So there is this metaphor given, chariot metaphor. So we are all travelers. So for any traveler, there has to be a destination. So what is our destination? So we are all traveling from imperfection to perfection. We are all traveling from asatoma sadgamaya, from asat to sat, from illusion to the reality, from the unreal to the real. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. We are all traveling from tamas to jyoti, from darkness to light. Mrityorma amritam gamaya. We are all traveling from mrityu to amritam, from mortality to immortality. We are traveling from ignorance to knowledge. So this is the journey we have taken up. Jiva bhava to Brahma bhava. We are traveling towards God, towards light, towards perfection, towards knowledge, towards reality. So in this journey, we all have a chariot. Atmanam Rathinam Vidhi. So who is the traveler in this chariot? We, the Jivatmas, are the travelers. Shariram Rathamevatu. What is the chariot? This physical body, Shariram, is Ratham. This physical body is the chariot. Then, Buddhim tu Sarathim Vidhi. For any chariot, there has to be a charioteer, the one who drives the chariot. Who is the charioteer? Buddhi, intellect. Buddhim tu Sarathim Vidhi. Manah Pragrahamevacha. So now you have horses. So horses have to be controlled by the reins. So the charioteer, he holds the reins. So what are these reins? Manah. Manah Pragraham. The reins, they are none other than the mind. Okay. What are these horses? Indriyani Hayan. Horses are the Indriyas, the sense organs. Okay, now the horses have to run through a path. What is that path? Vishayan, the sense objects. So we are all in a chariot. So living life means what? Traveling in a chariot. The sense objects, the world of sense objects, they are the path. The sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, etc., they are the horses. And these horses are controlled by the reins, which is the mind. And the chariot is the body. And the charioteer is the intellect. So now the question is, if this chariot has to reach the destination safely, quickly, who has the most important role among all these factors?
Charioteer.
Charioteer. You see, because the charioteer must know which path to take, what is the destination, which are the different routes, how to handle the horses, how to tame the horses, make the horses run, stop, etc. And what is the strength of the charioteer? Is understanding, knowledge. Yes or no? Everything is knowledge. He must know the destination. He must know how to handle the horses. He must know how to handle the chariots. He must know the route. No, 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 no. And who is the charioteer? Intellect. So therefore, just like the charioteer is the most important factor in ensuring the safety of the chariot, in ensuring the chariot reaching the destination, in the same way, in life, which is the most important entity in us, charioteer means intellect. Intellect is the decision-making faculty in us. What is right, what is wrong, what I should do, what I should not do. Now, the question is how to educate the intellect. We are all living life. We all have different philosophies of life. And accordingly, we are all living our life. The law is, according to your knowledge, you will desire. According to your knowledge, you will have a goal set in your life. And according to your knowledge, you will work hard in your life. So what kind of desires you have, what kind of goals you have, how you are going to employ your time in life, everything depends on your understanding about life. Yes or no? Suppose a person's understanding is the most important thing in life is money. How did he come to this conclusion? He came to this conclusion by observing life. He saw that rich people are happy. Whether they are really happy or not, he doesn't know, but he sees them to be happy because they have all facilities, comforts, luxuries. Everything best can be purchased only by the rich. Best food, best medical facility, best school, best college. Rich person is respected in the society. He has value. Whatever he says, people listen to it seriously. So therefore, he comes to this conclusion. What is the conclusion? Money is everything. Now, once he has come to this conclusion that money is happiness, what kind of lifestyle will be his? His entire life will be dedicated for only one thing. What is that? How to earn money. By hook or crook. So will he have time for anything else? No. That's the law of life. Whatever you value, you will have time for it and you will work hard for it and finally you will get it. It's a law. It's a cosmic law. So here is a person who values money, so he works hard for money. Everything in life, decision is taken based on how much can I get from this situation, from this business, from this person, from this relationship. Calculation is always based on money. Yes or no? Finally, what will happen? A time will come when he will become stinkingly rich. But will he be happy? Because happiness and money has no relationship. With money, you can, of course, get all the basic necessities met. But happiness is something more than that. It has something to do with the mind. And he never paid any attention to his mind. He never paid any attention to meditation, this, that, etc. Happiness has something to do with the state of the mind. If the mind is peaceful, you are happy. If the thoughts are cheerful and good, you are happy. If the thoughts are noble, divine, good, you are happy. Happiness has something to do with the state of mind, but he never paid attention. He paid attention only to money. So then finally what will happen? He will reach a stage where he is comfortably miserable. Comforts are there, but misery is also there. What I'm trying to say is how our life is completely decided by the philosophy of life. So this question we have to ask, what is my philosophy of life? What is my understanding of life? What, according to me, is happiness in life? This we have to ask. And this is the most important question our scriptures take up. Because at the end of the day, all of us, what are we working for? We are working for happiness, peace, cheerfulness, joy, contentment, whatever term you may be using. There is a way to gain it. There is a way to gain infinite bliss, infinite peace. There is a way. And that is a way which the scriptures show us. So therefore, we have to choose this path which the scriptures show. So the most important thing in life is gaining the right understanding about life. Because everything in our life is going to depend upon that understanding, right understanding. And that right understanding, where do we get from? That right understanding we get only from scriptures. And that is why study of the scriptures is the most important thing. Exactly like when you want to visit some place, what is the first thing you should do? Study the map. Just like that, if you go, you will not find anything. So first study the map. What all things? What is the route? What all things are there? Once you have studied the map, and then when you go, your travel becomes very comfortable. In the same way, what is life? What is the purpose of life? What am I supposed to do in life? Everything gain the right knowledge, and then when you live, life becomes full of joy. There is a fulfillment at the end. Otherwise, there is only guilt, there is only regret. So that is why study of the scriptures is important. Now, let us come back to this metaphor. What is that metaphor? Chariot metaphor. Who decides in which direction the reins must go? You know the reins? Who decides? Charioteer? The answer is it depends. If the charioteer is inefficient, the reins will be decided by the horses. And if the charioteer is efficient, the reins will be decided by the charioteer. A very important point here. In the same way, our reins means what? Our mind. If the charioteer is inefficient, means what? Intellect is inefficient. Means what? Intellect is uneducated. That intellect has never studied the scriptures, and therefore there is no right knowledge. What will happen to the reins, the mind? It will follow the horses. Means what? It will follow the sense organs. Such a mind becomes a slave of the sense objects. It will get addicted to the sense objects. Such a person will live a life of likes and dislikes. I like it, therefore I do it. I don't care whether it is right or wrong. I don't like it, therefore I don't do it. When our life is decided based on our likes and dislikes, when our mind, when our life is lived based on our likes and dislikes, what happens to the mind? Slowly that mind becomes a monstrous master. A monster and a master. In the society, we find such people, chain smokers, drunkards, drug addicts. They are all the examples of this. I like it, therefore I keep on doing it. And finally, my own mind becomes my greatest enemy. My own addictions become my greatest enemy. So Bhagavad Gita says, Uddhared atmanatmanam na atmanam avasade atmaiva hyatmano bandhuho atmaiva ripuratmana. My own mind is my best friend. My own mind is my worst enemy. So such a mind which is given to our licentious living, such a mind becomes my greatest enemy. Just like that chariot example. Charioteer is inefficient, so now the horses are running wild. So will the chariot reach the destination? Never. The person in the chariot will suffer. Isn't it? This is the condition of majority of us. To know how much control we have upon our own mind, just sit in meditation and watch the mind. Mind is supposed to be our instrument. So who should obey whom? Mind should obey us. Because mind is my instrument. So when I tell the mind, hey mind, keep quiet. For the next half an hour, you are not going to think anything. Just remain quiet. Be peaceful. So that mind is supposed to obey us. But what is the condition of our mind? It drags us. Just like a person is sitting on a horse and it's a wild horse, untamed horse, and there are no reins. What will happen to the country? Who will decide the destination? Not the rider, but the horse, isn't it? This is our condition today. So sit for 5 minutes with closed eyes and you will come to know who is the master. Some emotions come and we are not able to handle these emotions, especially negative emotions. So these are all the signs that somewhere mind has not been tamed. But suppose the charioteer is strong, then who will decide the reins? Charioteer will decide. So in us, if the intellect is strong, what is the intellect? That faculty in us which takes decisions based on right and wrong. So intellect in us says, this is right, let us do it. This is wrong, let us not do it. That is intellect. What is mind? This I like, let us do it. This I don't like, let us do it. So who should be the boss in us? The intellect. So with the right understanding of the scriptures, when we strengthen the intellect in us, intellect is stronger than the mind. Every decision is taken based on what is right and what is wrong. There are so many situations where something is right and I don't like it. Something is wrong and I love it. So whom should we listen to? The intellect. So when we constantly live a life based on what is right and what is wrong, the intellect in us becomes stronger and stronger. The charioteer becomes stronger and stronger. And intellect becoming stronger means the decision making faculty becoming bright, brilliant. It's like a torch. So when you have a brilliant torch, bright torch, you are able to see a long distance, isn't it? Very clearly. If it is a dim torch, then you're not able to see much. So as we live a life based on the scriptures, strictly following what is right and wrong, then what happens is intellect becomes so strong in us. And with that intellect, we are able to clearly see which path to take. And a time comes when the mind just obeys the intellect. Means what? Whatever is right, I love doing it. Whatever is wrong, I hate doing it. And such a personality is called integrated personality. Integration happens, mind and intellect. So for such a person, living life becomes very easy. The sense organs, they obey the mind. The mind, they obey the intellect. The intellect is tuned to the truth. So such a person is called an integrated person. Such a personality is called an integrated, yukta purusha. Integrated personality. For such a person, there won't be any difficulty at all in life. Such a person is able to experience the highest truth. And what is that highest truth? Aham Brahmasmi. God is not somewhere outside. God is a very consciousness in us. This is the ultimate goal to be reached. My own consciousness, the I in me, it is the ultimate truth. So the whole journey of life is nothing but the journey of trying to know this I. And what is the nature of this I? Satchit Anand. Existence, consciousness, bliss. So in this journey, unless we discipline our life, this journey is not possible. As the mind becomes more and more pure, we are able to listen to this voice of God. The voice of conscience itself becomes voice of God. Then guidance comes from within. Right. So therefore, study of the scriptures is absolutely essential. Many people say, oh, okay, I will study after retirement. When all my responsibilities are over, when I become old, when I can't do anything, then Bhagavad Gita class. I can't walk, I can't sit, I can't talk, I can't see, I can't hear. I can't go to club and pub. Then Bhagavad Gita. Are Baba, beginning itself you should, because the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is for whom? When do you collect arms and ammunitions? Before the war or after the war? Life is a battlefield. Don't think that only Arjuna had a battle. No, every one of us, we are in the battlefield. Constantly, challenges are thrown to us. Difficulties, problems, ups and downs in life, they're all challenges. Heat, cold, joy, sorrow, victory, defeat, gain, loss, honor, dishonor, praise, criticism, health, disease. This is called as Dvandva. So we all have our battles at the professional field, in the family field, so many fields. Bhagavad Gita is that knowledge which helps us to wage this battle with an equanimous mind. So therefore, when should we have this Bhagavad Gita knowledge or any scriptural knowledge? As early as possible. Earlier, the better. Because it's all about mastering oneself, mastering our mind, mastering our senses. So therefore, if somebody says, we'll go after retirement. In fact, very many people come and say, Swamiji, I should have met you 30 years back. You know, see, there's a guilt. Ayyo, I think I missed the train. Anyway, better late than never. But the thing is this, never have these kinds of excuses. Every day we must have some time. The Vedas, Swadhyaya Pravachane, na pramaditavya. Swadhyaya Pravachanabhyam na pramaditavya. Never become careless with respect to these. Study of the scriptures and whatever you have understood, share this knowledge with others. Never be careless. Every day it should be done. That's what the scriptures say. And it's true. Otherwise, we get carried away by this rat race, the worldly hustle and puzzle. The very purpose of life is forgotten. We are so busy with all little things that we forget about the main purpose. That should not happen. So therefore, this knowledge is very essential. What is called true happiness? According to scriptures, true happiness is quietude of mind. True happiness is not sense indulgence. To what extent have you disciplined your mind? To that extent, you are happy. Many times people say, no, these scriptures, lot of do's and don'ts and this and that. In fact, that is misery. But you must understand one thing. Scriptural bondage will give you worldly freedom, and worldly freedom will give you worldly bondage. Think. When the scriptures bind you, let me give an example. Don't drink. Surapanam. This appears that no, it's a bondage. Don't do. It appears it's a bondage. But that bondage is taking you where? To freedom. That person is not addicted to drinks. So what is happening there? It is freedom. So scriptural bondage is giving you worldly freedom. Another person says, no, I will do whatever I like. That is called as worldly freedom. Worldly freedom will take you where? To worldly bondage. You see? So though superficially it may appear that scriptures are binding you, actually it is not binding you, it is freeing you. Who is actually happy? A person who is bound by the mind or a person who has disciplined the mind? A person who is disciplined. There's a beautiful quote of Puja Gurudev which says, not doing what you feel like doing is freedom. You feel like doing something, but you are not doing it. That is freedom. Doing what you feel like doing, that is not freedom, that is bondage. Isn't it? So this is the kind of spiritual mastery. This is called freedom, and this is true happiness. Mind listening to you. Therefore, you decide what is right, what is wrong, and you have decided something, the mind cooperates with you cheerfully. So that is called as true freedom. And that is called as true happiness also. To gain this, therefore, study of scriptures is absolutely essential. Okay, my time is up. If you have any questions, you may ask. Yes.
You know, it's always really easy to say, okay, well, just, read the scriptures, but, we have to interact with the world, the changing world. How much time do you think we should spend interacting with the world? And how important is it really to fulfill that permanent interacting with changing?
How much should we interact with the changing world? It depends on person to person. Depends on profession also. See, we have to keep one thing in mind. Interacting with the world is not the cause of my problem. Spirituality never asks us to escape from the world. No. Spirituality asks us only one thing. Respond to every situation in the world. Don't react. World is never a problem. Don't never say that the world is a problem, that is why I am miserable. No. My wrong interaction with the world, my wrong approach to the world is a problem. What disturbs me is not the world, but the thoughts in me. If my thoughts are negative, I'll be disturbed. If my thoughts are good and noble, even amidst disturbing situation, I'll be peaceful. So who decides my peace? Not the world. If you say world is deciding my peace, then you are called as samsari. You must have heard this term. Samsara means world. Samsari means the one whose peace depends on the world. Conducive environment, he is happy. Unconducive environment, he is miserable. That is not spirituality. That anyway we are living that way only. True spirituality is even when there is unconducive environment, failure, loss, even at that time can you keep the mind peaceful? You are spiritual. So it doesn't matter whether you are interacting or not. Yogarato va, bhogarato va, sangarato va, sangavihinaha, yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati Whether you are with people or without people, amidst crowd or in solitude, whether you are in yoga or bhoga, the one whose mind is in God, in that reality, in truth, Nandati, 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 he is always at peace. You will find that so many Mahatmas were busy throughout. Our Gurudev himself, 18 hours a day he was working. Chimya Vidyalayas and ashrams and institutions and yajnas and talks and this and that. 18 hours a day with 18% of his heart functioning. 75, 76 years. That was his condition. Constantly interacting with the world, but mind ever in peace. Why? Because his mind was thinking of God, not of the world. This is the ability we have to cultivate. Right? Yes.
So I know you talked about the chariot and, right from wrong, intellect over mind. So sometimes, there's situations where we know what's right, what's wrong, but we're having to choose the wrong decision or make the wrong decision because the situation is dictating that we have to do that. Does that mean we have now lost control to the mind and now, we no longer are in control of the chariot, or is it a situational factor and we know, what, we'll overcome this and any other situation that comes. If we have to make the wrong decision, we'll always be in charge.
So you have made the wrong decision because of what? Because you did not know, or because you are tempted to do that? This is a question which I will have to ask.
So you make the wrong decision because you have no choice. So for example, you're in a situation where you're under attack. You know you have to take that person's life because you're under attack. They're
Yes.
either hurt you, kill you, do something. So now you're having to make a wrong decision.
Yes.
And let's say you're having to do that,
But according to Dharma Shastra, it is not a wrong decision. According to Dharma Shastra, it says that the first responsibility of yours is to protect yourself. So if your life is in danger, you have tried all the means not to hurt that person, but there is no choice. Now you have to take that life. If you take that life, it is not against dharma. It is dharma. It is not adharma, it is dharma. So it is not a wrong decision. Even the court cannot punish you. For self-defense, if you have taken somebody's life, and that person was very, aggressive and violent, and for your own sake, if you have taken life, even the court will not punish you.
in other situations too, where you're having to take the wrong decision because of the situation that's presented.
No, my question is, why are you taking wrong decision? Is it because of temptation? For example, there is a cigarette. I am addicted to cigarette and I know I should not smoke, but still because of that addiction, I take that and smoke. Is it because of the temptation of the mind? That you have to answer. Then only I can.
This question maybe at work, say where you are forced to make a
The
wrong,
wrong decision,
because the policies or whatever to do something dishonest. Is that your question?
where you're forced to do something and you know it's wrong.
The Wall Street has that, all the investment bankers, they're cheating their clients. My son gave up that career. He was very high in position.
Yeah.
He said,
So,
these are chore.
let what Swamiji.
You see, from that highest standpoint, now I'm going to answer. Okay. Who is taking care of this world? Who is taking care of this world? 100% it is God who is taking care of this world, correct? Everything happens in this world only by His command. When such a Lord, omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent Lord is taking care of this world, and I have understood that this company in which I am belonging to, it is not doing the right thing, it is making me do all wrong things, and it is exploiting the helplessness of others. If I am a true devotee of Lord, with strong devotion, I will just resign my job. Say, God, you take care of me now. But if you have no such devotion, you are mildly beginner, then fine, continue. In fact, a part of your earning can be given charity. Saying that God, this money earned is not pure. So therefore, so they are all different ways. The highest would be this. Bhagavan, now you take care of me. So you try for all the other jobs and you will get a good job. But for that tremendous amount of purity and confidence and faith in God is necessary. Otherwise it doesn't.
I have one question, Swamiji.
Ah.
So, we understand the senses, we understand, because we grew up when we didn't have like cell phones and all that. So we have seen growing up, getting the cell phones, getting addicted to these senses. So we understand these things, but as a mom of teenagers and children growing up in this age, what advice would you give to the youth? Because they're constantly surrounded by so much stimulus, and most of it is because of the way of their life. Everything, all the work has to be on computer, and it is so easily to get deviated. I feel like we as adults can control it. Like, how can we help this generation? Because I feel like this generation is very messed up.
Correct.
Do you have any advice that can help us as parents?
See, first thing you must know is, you must know what are the negative influence of, say, for example, mobile phone. Are you aware of it? If you are aware of it, see, there is a law in this cosmos, The law is, if you have mastery over the mind, then you can easily control people around you. Because the behavior of a child and the behavior of the mind is same. They take decision based on likes and dislikes. So now suppose you want to educate your teenage child. I'll give one tip. There can be many. First, allow him. Say, for example, tell him, okay, from this time to this time, watch whatever you want. Playing video game or whatever. Say 3 hours, 4 hours, he will watch. After that, call him. Now sit in silence. You also sit. Just watch your mind. What is the condition of your mind? So you'll always find that after 3-4 hours of playing, you're exhausted. You're tired. And just ask him to watch the mind, and you will find that the mind is going haywire. All these impressions, whatever has been gathered, the mind is peaceful or disturbed. So make that child understand how much disturbances you are. These 3-4 hours, it's anyway wasted. Time is wasted, and in the process, the mind is disturbed. So make him go through that. See, many times what happens is we don't meditate, therefore we don't know what is happening to the mind because our attention is outside. You understand? So let that youngster suffer the consequence. 2-3 times you make the child do. Slowly he becomes aware. Another thing is diary writing. Every day he should write diary. How much of time I have wasted today? How many hours in useless things? So let him be consciously, painfully be aware of the time wasted, of the disturbances incurred. Once you make a person painfully aware of certain things, very soon that person becomes free from addiction. Yes, okay, time is up. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kasyit Dukha Bhag Bhaved, Asato Ma Sadgamaya, Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Mritamgamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.